Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep It Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 18 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to meteorologist to talk the weather because we have some good news, right? Some lightning, haze, and cooling temps.
Yeah, lessening haze as we do go throughout the next several days, and we are looking at those cooler temperatures. I think that's something that so many folks will agree are positive things. So as we take a look at the first two weather headlines, both that top one and that middle one, pieces of good news, we are going to see that lessening haze and smoke and those cooler temperatures this week. I don't think anyone last week enjoyed breathing in the haze and smoke, and I don't think anyone last week really enjoyed the 100s either. Now, as we look at that third weather headline, though, some people may consider that a hindrance. Showers and thunderstorm chances are going to exist really all week long. Now, it's not a guarantee that we are going to see showers and thunderstorms in your exact neighborhood, but I think it is a pretty much guarantee that showers and thunderstorms will exist in our general region as we do head through this week. We'll take a look at a more in-depth look, I should say, at these three weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in the Tri-Cities. Police responded to what was originally reported as a car hitting a pedestrian in Richland, but it turned out to be a one-car crash where the occupants were thrown from the vehicle, and alcohol may have been involved, say police. It happened Friday in the 1500 block of Van Giesen Street at around 2 in the morning. Richland police say the car rolled over and 2 of the 4 people inside were ejected. Investigators say the car was speeding and flipped over near the roundabout at Van Giesen and Thayer. A fence and a power pole were hit. Police believe the driver was impaired by alcohol, and they have since been booked into the Benton County Jail facing vehicular assault charges. Friday afternoon, the Tri-City Dust Devils announced their evening game would be canceled after one of their players was involved in a serious crash. So far, authorities haven't confirmed if this was the same crash, but there are no other reports of major crashes in Richland on Friday morning. Rio Foster, originally from Georgia, is an outfielder with the team and was named Northwest Player of the Month on Thursday. The team released the following statement that reads in part, quote, "The thoughts and prayers of the entire Dust Devils organization are with Rio Foster." And in just under 3 weeks, Washington State Trooper Sarah Clayson will be in court to face vehicular homicide charges. Investigators say the off-duty trooper was intoxicated when she crashed into 20-year-old Joser Sanchez, killing him. Trooper Clayson refused a breathalyzer at the scene, but a blood draw later revealed her blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit. The case is now in the hands of the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office, and there's been frustration expressed from both the public and the family of Sanchez that the process has taken an extended amount of time. Clayson is out of jail and on administrative leave. She's scheduled to be back in court in Benton County on Wednesday, September 24th. We'll have full coverage of that court hearing, and you can read more about the case, and watch police body cam footage from the night of the crash on KEPRtv.com. And a powerful walk through Miller Park in Yakima over the weekend brought attention to recovery, resilience, and the lives impacted by addiction. KIMA's Denise Williams brings us the voices of those leading the charge towards healing, including one man whose personal journey has come full circle.
That it starts with the choice, and before you know it, you're using against your own will. People are human. We make mistakes. Our job is not to judge one another. Our job is to help one another when we need it. It's not about a handout, but a hand up.
The Steps to Recovery Walk returned to Miller Park Saturday, drawing families, supporters, and those in recovery for a day dedicated to breaking the stigma around addiction and celebrating second chances.
It means a lot. We're super excited to be here today. For me personally, I am a member of the recovery community, and today just kind of represents us coming out and just showing people that recovery is possible, that the lie is dead, that once an addict, always an addict. We do recovery and we reintegrate back into society.
Jaime walked alongside his father with his sister nearby and cousins who had traveled far to support him. Now a father of 6, he had his family back, graduated college, got married, and earned a license from the Department of Health to help others in recovery. For him, every step marked how far he had come and who he had become.
I actually celebrated 5 years clean about five days ago now. It has been an amazing journey. Like, if I would have written down a list of the things I hope to get out of my recovery, I would have sold myself short. So to me, recovery has absolutely changed my life. And I'm super grateful for the opportunity to be here and to help other people maybe do what I did.
He explained why recovering out loud, especially in public spaces like Miller Park, is so important.
For too long, people have suffered in silence. People have went and lived with the stigma associated with substance use and alcoholism. And today was a demonstration of people just coming out and saying, hey, yes, I have an issue. However, I'm willing to do something about it. And there's people like me that are fighting for their lives and helping others out as well.
Reporting for Action News, I'm Anissa Williams.
KIMA's Anissa Williams, thank you. And Barajas now works as a substance use counselor in Yakima, using his own journey to help others find theirs. The event was part of National Recovery Month, and organizers say more community programs are planned throughout September. Wildfires have been making our skies smoky, and they continue to burn. Health leaders say poor air quality could especially affect sensitive groups. It's recommended those groups stay inside and use an in-home air filtration system. Outdoor workers are recommended to use N95 masks. Health experts say the poor air quality impacts everyone, even if you're healthy.
These particulates are small particulates. They get in the deep reaches of your lungs, and your capillaries in your lungs are very thin in your lungs, and a lot of materials in the particulates, smoke particulates, can actually move into your bloodstream and go to other parts of your body. And some of these small particulates are very toxic types of molecules.
Now, we also checked in with the University of Washington to learn what symptoms they should look out for, especially if you have underlying health conditions.
More serious symptoms that may prompt you to call your provider or even go to the emergency department would be symptoms like wheezing, shortness of breath, using your asthma medications more than usual, chest tightness or chest pain, or palpitations.
Now, other symptoms that aren't as serious include eye irritation, headache, sinus congestion, and even a sore throat. While the smoke sticks around, health leaders say it's best to stay indoors as much as possible. And to learn more about the air quality, you can visit our website, KEPRtv.com. And the Wildcat Fire is one of those fires making our skies pretty smoky. It's burned over 7,700 acres and is still 0% contained. It's burning a few miles west-southwest of Goose Prairie near Bumping Lake. And with the Wildcat Fire's high elevation location, firefighters are having a difficult time navigating their next move.
Yeah, smoke is definitely, and this is a little bit what's happening now, smoke is really being funneled down from that Wildcat Fire and from multiple other regional fires into the Columbia Basin. And then with the light winds, that's really limiting any dispersion. And so the smoke concentrations are just building up over time.
Now, access to parts of the Wildcat Fire remain limited due to steep, rugged terrain and heavy fuels, making firefighting dangerous. A level 2 evacuation is in effect for Goose Prairie and Bumping River Road. For maps, closures, and air quality updates, visit local emergency and Forest Service websites. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, the Wildcat Fire, the 5th largest in our state, and that's at 7,700 acres or so. And then there's a 10,000, an 11,000, a 13,000, and a 14,000 acre fire, all burning in the state. So, fire season's not over yet, but fortunately temperatures are on the cooling trend.
That's absolutely correct. And that's kind of what I wanted to lead into last week when so many of these fires just blew up. We were talking about 90s and 100s in our forecast area. And of course, it is those wildfires that are creating all of that smoke that did have a major hindrance on our air quality last week. Take a look at high temperatures that we are expecting for today. Instead of 90s and 100s that we were talking about last week, today we're only going to see high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s for the Tri-Cities, mid to upper 80s for the Yakima Valley today, low to mid 80s in the Kittitas Valley, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s for the Blue Mountain foothills. Now, what I will say is there will be a little bit of light haze and smoke overhead today, but certainly not the dense, terrible stuff that we were seeing last week. We're also going to see a mixture of sunshine and clouds for most of the day before shower and thunderstorm chances do roll in this evening. And we'll talk more about that with the Storm Tracker Futurecast in a moment. First, though, here's a look at the haze and smoke forecast. Throughout much of the day and through this evening, we're only going to find our general viewing area in this light blue color, which does mean that, yes, there will still be some light haze and smoke overhead, but we're not looking at those deep reds and oranges that we were seeing last week that did lead to some of that unhealthy air quality. Now, this is going to be a pattern, I believe, that replays itself throughout the week, of course, barring any new wildfires that do start Air quality in general this week should not be as poor as we did see last week. Now let's jump into the Storm Tracker Futurecast. I mentioned the chance for showers and thunderstorms as we went into this evening. Let's stop this around your 6-7 o'clock hour. This is when we could be looking at some of those showers and thunderstorms popping up around the inland northwest, maybe starting a little bit sooner for Yakima and Kittitas counties. As we do go later into this evening through your overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, we will still be holding on to a good opportunity for region-wide showers and thunderstorms around the inland northwest. Not a guarantee that everyone will experience showers and thunderstorms, just those chances of region-wide showers and thunderstorms do exist. Into tomorrow evening, still looking at the potential for maybe some showers and thunderstorms, particularly in Walla Walla County. And then as we go into Wednesday, more moisture moving up from the south, which could promote more showers and thunderstorms even on hump day. Now let's just take a look at temperatures for the next 3 days after today, because the temperature trend is continuing on a cooling trend, I should say. On Tuesday, look for highs into the upper 70s to low 80s, mid 70s to low 80s on Wednesday, and then we will be in the mid to upper 70s on Thursday. Again, a far cry from the 90s and 100s that we were talking about last week. Right now, I'm going to toss it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. Sageview, the Tri-Cities' newest high school, played its first ever football game Thursday night against Chihuahua. Keeper Zane Whitaker was there and brings us with him.
It doesn't exist until it exists, and there's a lot of little things that you don't think about.
In December of 2024, the Sageview athletic director, Michael Dawn, was hired to help build and manage school sports. By February, he'd hired over 20 different head coaches for each team representing the Sageview Lobos.
It's a big task. It's a little different than when you're hiring a coach here and there. I've sat through a lot of head coaching interviews. Never quite sat through so many in so few days.
By mid-August, coaches had already assembled their teams and many had started holding practices. But many of those players and even those coaches themselves came from other Pasco schools, including Chihuahua.
Coaching against the guys that I've coached with for so many years and players and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of it's just surreal. I don't know. It's just a weird vibe.
Some students now attending Sageview were able to help give input on the school's mascot and design, and now they're building an entirely new community of their own.
Being 14, picking your school colors, you don't really think that's actually going to be your school colors. I voted on pink. But it's just exciting being part of a new legacy, being the first graduating class ever of Sageview.
For the first ever Sageview football game, the students and their parents definitely turned out.
Especially for visiting. It's not even a home game and there's a ton of people here.
I love the energy. I love everybody in white participating, having spirit, joining us. It's so lovely to see them.
Chihuahua students also turned out for their first game of the season, even though many of their friends are no longer Riverhawks.
It's a bittersweet feeling. But at the end of the day, we're Pasco. So Chihuahua, Sageview, Pasco High, we're all the same. We're just represented by different logos and different families.
Reporting in Pasco, Aiden Whitaker, Action News.
Keeper Zane Whitaker, fantastic story there. And sticking with education, in honor of September Attendance Awareness Month, the local nonprofit is raising awareness about school attendance with a mentoring program. United Way of Benton and Franklin counties is reintroducing their program called Attendance Matters. They work with 3 middle schools and 1 elementary school in the area, providing college-level mentors for chronically absent students to help them with homework and socializing. Leaders at the nonprofit spoke about how important attendance is.
When you regularly attend school, kids are more likely to develop their whole selves, personally, socially, and not academically, emotionally. There's all kinds of benefits that come with going to school. You can connect with friends, you get to problem solve in person, and we're just trying to raise awareness. I don't think people realize how quickly 1 or 2 absences a month can add up.
And finally, we're taking a look at the touring version of Tony Award-winning musical Suffs, being seen off-Broadway for the very first time in Yakima as the opening show in the new Capitol Best season at the Capitol Theater. KMA's John Kennedy O'Connor met up with the show's director to learn all about the new exciting musical.
Well, I'm here with Lee Silverman, who is the director of SUFS, a wonderful new musical that is being previewed here in Yakima this weekend, actually the 8th and the 9th of September. Lee, tell us about this musical.
Well, it was multi-Tony winning, history-making Broadway show that ran for a year last year. This is the beginning of a very exciting national tour. We go from here to Seattle and then off to 38 other cities, but Yakima gets it first.
Yeah, this is very exciting because nobody has seen this off-Broadway as of yet.
Yeah, that's it.
And tell us what it's about.
So it's about the group of women who fought to get the 19th Amendment passed, which is for women to have the right to vote. And it's about the really powerful, strong, hardworking, incredibly determined women who made progress happen. This follows the last 10 years of the movement, so 60 years of the movement happens before our musical starts, and then we meet our characters who are just the most delightful, amazing, inspiring group of women, and we watch them fight over a 10-year journey to finally win the amendment.
Now, it's a very serious subject, but it's a very light-hearted musical. I mean, it is a musical.
It is. It's a musical that I think everyone can relate to because it's about wanting to make your community better. It's about wanting to work hard with your friends. It's about wanting social change. It's about really coming together, of course, through amazing music and showing what it takes to change history. So it's quite inspiring, it's quite uplifting, it's wildly entertaining. There's so many amazing characters to just enjoy and be inspired by, and incredible music to sing on your way out. We truly have the most incredible company of performers. They are an extraordinary group.
Well, we're very excited that it's here in Yakima. This is a great opportunity for us to experience a show for the first time.
Yeah.
Before anybody else has seen it, so that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's going to be at the Capitol Theatre here on the 8th and the 9th.
Yes, very exciting. Please come check it out.
Okay, well, Lee, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you very much for your time today, and we'll look forward to seeing SUFS next week.
Thank you so much.
John Kennedy O'Connor, thank you. And SUFS will be playing tonight and tomorrow night at the Capitol Theater, curtain up at 7:30 p.m. You can still subscribe for the entire Capitol Best season, or tickets are available for each individual show, either online at capitoltheater.org or in person at the box office. Thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites, keeper and KIMATV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a terrific start to your week, everybody.